That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
What's up, campers? Welcome back to episode 177 of Camp Strange. I am your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm the other camp counselor, the Grimgotts Goblin.
And is that from Harry Potter?
I think so.
And we're back to bring the spooky, wacky, weird, strange, and answers.
Yeah, we're going to get you some answers.
I guess David has answers for you that
I got answers. You guys are going to have your minds blown. The truth is out there, and I am holding it.
And before we get you these answers, we got to catch you up on any of the weird news you may have missed. And David, do you want to go first?
Sure. Mike Liddell selling off MyPillow equipment, saying they did cancel culture on us.
Okay. So I don't know really who this man is. I remember just like, I don't know, like a year ago, people would be like, oh, are you talking about, they'd be talking about something like Trump related or Republican related. And somebody would go, oh, the My Pillow guy. I don't know about this guy at all. Can you update me on like who he is and what he did? I think he like donated money or something. I don't know.
Michael James Lindell, also known as My Pillow Guy, is an American businessman, political activist, and conspiracy theorist. He is the founder and CEO of My Pillow Incorporated, a pillow, bedding, and slipper manufacturing company. Lindell is a prominent supporter of and advisor to former U.S. President Donald J. Trump.
He's an advisor?
I guess so.
On what, sleep?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not sleeping good.
For some reason, I thought he was like an ex-football player, like an ex-wrestler.
You're thinking of Chuck Liddell.
Ah, okay.
That mohawk, he'll put you to sleep.
The Iceman, right?
He'll fucking put you to sleep. And
Yeah.
then this guy will help you with your pillow choices, apparently. So, yeah, okay. He kind of stupid because
he no
okay.
pillow.
So here's the thing. He says he got cancel culture. So I'm guessing his business is completely in the dumps.
Yes.
But here's the first thing he has to realize. One is that if you've ever driven a car through a downtown or through any town ever, you know that there are 4,000 mattress stores in an area.
Oh yeah.
It does not make sense. So the market's already oversaturated for something that I don't even believe that there's a market for in the first place. I've had my bed for like 8 years already.
Oh,
I'll go another 8. I don't care.
God, now you got to get that out of there, bud.
How
when was the last time you
keep
changed your sheets?
You're supposed to change those?
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were like jeans. Somebody told me you're not supposed to wash your jeans. Is that true?
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
What? I wash my jeans after like 3 wears.
Well, they've got to be like 100% real denim for that to be a thing.
It's the cast iron pan of fucking clothing?
Yeah, dude, real denim can't burn.
What does that What is that?
That means
is that a joke? I actually thought you were being...
No, I'm being dead serious. Real denim can't burn.
Does that mean you can't put it in a dryer? Or are you saying that if you wash them, then they will catch on fire easier?
No, what I'm saying is you can put on a full Canadian tuxedo and you can run into a house on fire. Look it up, dude. I'm not even fucking with you. It's true.
Okay, I do
swear.
believe you. No, I do believe you because I felt like firemen's coats before. And they're kind of like that.
Feeling firemen's coats, dude.
When I go to those strip shows, with the big firemen, and they throw their jacket at me in the crowd, and it hits me, and it always knocks me out. They're too heavy. Okay, we're tangenting right now, but no, I felt the coat of like firefighters, and it does feel like that kind of denim material.
Which part did you feel?
Like the coat. I don't know, the outer coat part.
Like it's the chest area.
Like the shoulder.
Pectorals. Oh, shoulder. Okay, shoulder.
You know, like you wear them when you go on like a field trip, and they let you put on the boots and you put on the jacket, and you know, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But firefighters, like this is really sad to say, but they've died in fires from like being on fire.
Yeah, I think it's not just so much that. I think it's also the smoke.
True, but they didn't like pull a firefighter out of a fire and go, "Hey, he died from smoke inhalation. Look at him. He's completely intact with this denim jacket on."
Well, I mean, you can say tinfoil's like susceptible to fire, but if you're wearing a tinfoil suit, baby, you're gonna come out like a baked potato.
You know, it's also kind of crazy. Every
What?
time I'm done with like cooking some like chicken nuggets on a tinfoil thing, and then you
Yeah.
go to lift up the tinfoil, not hot, and it always just impresses me.
Yeah, that is
I'm
pretty
like,
cool.
how I ain't get hot? My
It's-
chicken nuggets get hot, but they don't
it's-
get hot.
It's like the One Ring when they pull it out of the fire.
Yeah, it's cool to touch.
Yeah,
That shit's aluminum. That's not even worth mud. That's not worth no money.
and my tinfoil always has Elvish inscribed into it. I don't know what's going on with that.
Okay, wait. We gotta get back to my pillow guy.
Yeah.
Okay, first off, the market's oversaturated like
Okay.
crazy. Okay.
You say so.
Second, it's not true that you can get canceled, quote unquote, canceled, and still make a lot of money from the your conservative constituents if he is an advisor. Or
Yes.
no, he's not a congressman, but you know what I mean. So because that fucking movie came out recently. Okay, did you hear about this shit? Sound of Freedom?
Is that the QAnon movie?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much. I've done a little research on it, but basically, it's a movie about child trafficking, and it's made by a religious or conservative production company. It stars the guy who Jim Caviezel. He played Jesus in the Passion of the Christ, and
Okay.
the movie like looks well shot. I watched the trailer. I'm like, it doesn't look bad.
Yeah.
It's in some theaters. But people are saying that like there's some like conspiracy theories, I guess, in it that are like not 100. It's not just like we need to stop child sex trafficking. It's like, oh, we know who's involved, and it's definitely Bill Clinton. Not
Yeah.
saying it is, not saying it's not.
Oh,
but I heard that
100%.
there are some QAnon things in there. But that movie made like $40 million
Yeah.
because at the end of the fucking trailer, they're brilliant and manipulative, and I love it. Because the guy goes, it's like Jim Caviezel being like, child sex trafficking is a real problem. The first thing we need to do is be aware of it. So we need to sell as many tickets as we can. So everyone go watch it. And if you can't watch it, donate money to this link and it will buy tickets for other people. And I'm like, that money is not going to tickets for other people.
No.
That is going
Straight into a pocket.
straight into a pocket, and then people are just going to go keep buying tickets. So they made $40 million. I would maybe guess that like there's even people like Mel Gibson who's just like, I'm going to throw you a mill just to get these numbers up kind of situation.
Oh yeah.
But it's good to be like, I don't know what the content is, so I can't tell you if it's QAnon or not. But I'm just saying, just in relation to that, it is interesting that this guy went under when he could have just had the conservative like pool just like buy all of his pillows, which I believe they were doing for a while.
Well, you haven't let me get to the meat of the story here.
I'm sorry. Got a little
So
excited about pillows.
yeah, he said it was a massive cancellation. We lost 100 million from attacks by the box stores, the shopping networks, the shopping channels, Walmart. All of them did cancel culture on us. So basically, all the places that they were selling pulled their like what's the word I'm looking for? Like their,
Like the product from the actual store.
yeah, they terminated their contract.
Well, here's the other thing. People can't bitch about this, like the pillow guy,
Yeah.
but then also turn around and be like, I'm not buying Bud Light.
Yeah.
And it's like, they got on Bud Light's ass about being political, but it's fine for the pillow guy to be political. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I guess don't say anything if you want to sell your product to as many people as you want, but if you want like your political opinion out there, be ready to have people be like, yeah, that was like, you said the wrong thing. We don't want you in our store, because it is capitalism. You get to decide what you sell and where you sell it. So,
Yeah.
and what you buy. So
Did you see Kid Rock's Kid Rock bar and Kid Rock Tavern, whatever?
Kid Rock Country.
Yeah.
Did he, wait,
You see
wait,
there?
where?
He's got like a big bar in Nashville, I think,
Oh, really?
and they started selling Bud Light again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, kind of funny.
Why?
It's probably
I'm
'cause
I'm
people
pro
are
Bud
asking
Light.
for it.
I just thought like, yeah. People
Remember,
would be
he
like,
was the
oh.
one that shot the cases of Bud Light with an assault rifle and said Grandpa's feeling a little frisky.
I was actually pro that whole thing because Bud Light became extremely cheap at stores, and I was like, more Bud Light for for liberals, I guess. You know,
Yeah.
that's kind of cool. Anyway, speaking of Kid Rock's bar, Florida squatters create Meth Island, complete with 4-story treehouse, a welcome center, and a trampoline. Is this what you were talking about?
You know that treehouse went up in like 3 hours.
Oh, I thought you meant went up in flames. I was like, no, they wrapped the whole thing in denim.
No, they built that thing in 3 hours.
No, it looks cool. No, it's like it's got some infrastructure to it. It's like they got some like wood beams going on and signage. There's a little swing.
Nice.
But so you're gonna love this. So they're saying like in the days of skyrocketing housing prices, that Meth Island is a great alternative, but people are deeming it a nuisance. So the outpost is located on one of the islands near Dunletow Bridge in Port Orange, Florida, south of Daytona, and people are saying it's actually pretty impressive. But like you said, it has 4 stories, has living quarters, and here's the best part. Like I said, someone put up a trampoline. That's easy, but they have an Airbnb room for rent for $10 a night.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
It's pretty fun. I wonder if you get like a little bit of like a crack rock like on the little nightstand, and they're like, "Don't smoke that. That's an extra charge."
Yeah, it's an extra $50 right there,
It's next to a bag of peanut M&Ms
and a 40-ounce. A couple red cups.
So, and then it says, looks like they were planning an expansion to the island, maybe a 5th floor on the treehouse or a remodel of the welcome center. Unfortunately, the cops came and shut that shit down. Apparently,
Lame.
I'm torn on it because I go, that's very innovative. It's on an island, probably not bothering most people. And if you're homeless, you still need a place to live, even if you can't afford it.
Yeah.
But I do also agree that like a 4-story, 5-story treehouse is very unsafe.
Oh, yeah.
And it's also a drug den. And
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of elements here.
it's not great. So, and it's also like, probably a lot of littering and, but
Littering and
smoking the meth. So, just Florida shit, you know how it be.
Mm-hmm.
Just Florida shit.
All right. Tourist apologizes for Colosseum defacement, saying he had no idea it was so ancient.
Are you talking about the Roman Colosseum?
Yeah.
What did he do? Did he carve his name into something?
He carved Ivan plus Haley 23/6/23. And people had videos of it.
He's not American, at least, because we don't go year first.
That's the best part.
Yes, thank God. We have our fair share of ruining other people's cultures and defacing nice things, but not this time.
Yeah.
God, that shit is so stupid.
Yeah, he apparently didn't know that the Colosseum was nearly 2,000 years old.
What the fuck did he think it was? A dilapidated building? Like they just built this out of sand and it's kind of just withering away. Like what?
Yeah.
It's such a bullshit response. It's like when you get caught with something and you're like, I didn't know that we weren't supposed to drink and drive. Like I didn't know that. And you're like, you did know that. Like
yeah.
What? One of our mutual friends had a friend here in LA that was, I'm just going to leave names out of it.
Yeah.
But he had a mutual friend or a friend of a friend that was very hippy dippy, and he would go on these hikes, and he was like, he took an Instagram picture. He's like, this is such a beautiful hike. And it was at these rocks with a waterfall in Malibu. And he fucking went and wrote this nice thing about nature. And then the video or a picture shows him spray painting some kind of like Hindi eye, like the eye of Ra, or like a third eye or a chakra on these
Evil eye.
rocks. Yeah, and I'm like, dude, how ironic is this? It's like piece of shit behavior. Like,
Everything's
don't.
so beautiful. Let me add my art to it.
You know what? I'm okay with like graffiti murals that are commissioned and look nice.
Yeah.
Any other graffiti, I'm kind of just like, it kind of looks like shit.
Yeah, no,
Like-
I was fishing 2 weekends ago, I think, and with our buddy Jared, and we were under like a little bridge area fishing, and someone spray painted "R.I.P. balls."
Oh, that's right. That's right. You said that.
And I wish I knew this balls guy with a
But,
Z.
like, even like that's not even like technically, I mean, that is graffiti, but you know, some people go like, well, I'm going to try to make it like fancy looking. And it's still like, I don't want to see it all over a bridge. I'll see it on a wall if it's commissioned. If somebody asks for it and they go like, because those people are like artists. And I'm not saying you can't do your art, but like, Jesus Christ, some of those are like just on the side of a building. And I'm like, that was definitely not commissioned, and it sucks and it looks bad.
Yeah.
And these people have to like pay somebody to pressure wash this shit off now. And
See, I'm a fan of when people graffiti on like train cars, like the cargo containers on trains, because then you don't see the same one. You just see that one time. You're like, hey, that one's cool.
kind of like one of those moving pictures, you know?
Yeah, it's like
kind
those
of,
moving pictures.
I'm like spray painting on the side, and the conductor catches me. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I didn't know it was so old. I wasn't aware how old this train, how ancient it was."
The last steam train in America.
There's nothing worse than like, I'm sorry, I hate the look of like a white box truck that just has graffiti all over it.
No, I love it.
Oh, I just think it looks like shit.
Yeah, it's half the fun.
It does look like shit, but yeah, I guess you're right.
But it's
Well-
gonna be in Idaho tomorrow, so you don't have to fucking worry about it.
It's true. I just feel bad for the guy who's like, man, I kind of really wanted to keep, like, the moving company's like, yeah, now it just looks like we fucking are in the new Ninja Turtles movie. I don't like.
That's what
I don't
my
know.
goal is, man. I want to be in that movie.
Hey, that movie does look cool, I have to say.
Mhm.
But you know, they don't get any say in it. So
No.
you know, just ask before you paint something. Okay, I got one right here. Why the Toronto Zoo wants you to stop showing its gorillas videos on your phones. So I guess people have been. I've kind of seen this kind of shit before. First it was magic tricks, and now they're just showing them like porn and
Yeah.
desensitizing them.
Yeah. I brought my iPad Max into the zoo, and I showed a silverback gorilla the Avengers Infinity War.
I showed them live leak videos. Just like straight up beheading. I showed them like ISIS compilations.
Yeah, those are good.
Wait. So the people at the, I guess Holly Ross said, "We just want the gorillas to be gorillas." Holly Ross, behavioral husbandry supervisor at the zoo.
That
said,
ship sailed the second you threw him behind a glass window.
you know what? Fair point.
Yeah.
Very fair point.
If they want to smoke a pack a day, someone's gonna throw a pack down for them.
Yeah, a little hypocritical to like just be keeping a gorilla in like a enclosure and then being like, don't show it a phone, and you're like, you have it in a box. Like, I don't know, man. Like there aren't ropes hanging from trees out in nature. That's all. There ain't no tires swinging in nature for all I've seen. Maybe Meth Island.
The little pellets you're feeding them, you think they're catching those in nature?
So wait, this is the part I wanted to get to. I have to read this real quick, but the Toronto Zoo's website says, I guess there's a gorilla named Nasir. Nasir was born in September 2009 and describes him as the epitome of a teenager who is fascinated by videos, and screen time would dominate his life if he had his way. So Nasir is addicted to like phones, apparently. This teenage gorilla.
I mean, if that doesn't prove evolution, I don't know what does.
Yeah. If people want to be like, oh no, gorillas are different. Like, nah, we the same. We all We all loved Candy Crush.
I want to see this gorilla's face after he lands on page 487 on Pornhub.
Yeah, 100. Because look at this. He goes, "We don't want our guests coming and showing them videos. We would rather have them see them do gorilla things," she said. Nasir, in particular, was really interested in seeing different videos. I think mostly he was seeing videos of other animals, but I think what is really important is that he's able to just hang out with his brother and be a gorilla. You don't know what being a gorilla is.
True.
Being a gorilla is playing Temple Run.
Well, you know, what pisses me off is
it,
it's like
right?
every time I've ever been to a zoo, they're always hiding behind a big rock. There's always a big rock they're hiding behind, and then I never see the big monkey.
Mm-hmm.
So if I go to a zoo and someone's playing Angry Birds with a gorilla, and the gorilla's up at the glass window, leaning up against it, love it. I'd be so much more happy to just be closer to the big monkey.
Oh, yeah. I want to
than
see it as close
closer
as I
to
can get to it.
I don't want to be closer to the big rock than I am to the big monkey.
100%. And
You know,
here's the thing that I don't like either. Why was it okay to make all those silly videos of them doing magic tricks with the orangutan
mm-hmm.
and it falling over and it slapping its forehead and it laughing when the ball disappear, but all of a sudden I show it Riley Reid
Yeah.
and
different story now.
and now it ain't laughing anymore, making a different face.
Yeah. I try to pull up "Oh No My Pods" video and I get kicked out.
Not the Oh No My Pods video.
Have you ever seen the video when Shaquille O'Neal's talking about how every time he goes to the zoo, the gorillas freak out?
Yes.
It's a very funny video. Look it up. If you
That
haven't
is
seen it.
so. It's actually very interesting.
Yeah.
Like, that's like evolution too, where it's like, I love that.
Because I'm trying to
Man.
think, how tall are
He's-
gorillas? Because Shaq's like 7'2".
Well, they walk on their hands, so it's kind of hard
Yeah.
to tell like how tall they are. Just like, standing. We never see like a full gorilla like standing up. I feel like sometimes, even
their
then, they
back
have like
legs are kinda short.
boat ass legs and like arched ass backs.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but that is so funny.
I also wonder if they freak out just because he's like so much bigger than they are. Maybe.
that has to be it.
Yeah.
But like also, I also love that video. Just a little sidebar of the gorillas fighting, and then the lady goes, "Somebody do something."
Like, what are they gonna fucking do?
I think a comedian was like, "Yeah, like one of the zoo people are gonna like come and separate them." Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like, if gorillas want to fight to the death in that zoo, like maybe they have a trank gun.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll spray them with a hose or something. But like, I don't think anything's gonna stop them if they really want to kill each other.
Yeah. You see that video of that grizzly bear eating a baby duck in front of the classroom of kids?
Yeah. It didn't like. It,
You
like,
don't
it
you don't
cuts-
really see it eat it. It's more
It
like
closes its mouth on the baby duck.
a couple
and-
times.
Does it?
Yeah, it's kind of playing with it. But it's more of just the kid's reaction that's hilarious.
Yeah, it ain't like the books.
Yeah.
It ain't.
And that's nature, man.
Seriously, it's real out here. They learned a valuable
didn't-
lesson that day.
We didn't do this.
Should have showed that bear your phone. It wouldn't have been hungry.
Yeah. I should pull up some Popeyes commercials.
It's not chicken. It's duck. Anyway, okay. So I think we're caught up on our news stories. We're good, right?
We are good to proceed.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess I will start my story then. Now, David, as a kid, or even now, most people see a movie and leave the theater with a quiet and casual yearning to be the cool or charismatic character they just watched on the silver screen. You know? Like when you're a kid.
I am Batman.
Yeah. Like, dude, when I was like a kid, I would like leave the theater. I think we talked about this on the pod before, but I would like have this complex where like I would leave the theater and be like, they don't even know I could be Spider-Man. Like, I am fully aware how embarrassing that is, but I'm gonna be completely honest. I was like, oh my god, maybe I'll get bit by a spider,
Yeah.
and I'll become Spider-Man. Because my favorite,
Well, I mean, that's how the stories they you know they grab us. They make us want to be that.
Also, I think the
Captivate us.
most undefeated trope in any movie is when the whole movie everybody shits on this character and then they reveal that they're actually the coolest person in the movie.
Yeah.
Like when Peter Parker in like the third one gets his like mask ripped off and everybody learns he's like Peter Parker in like the Tobey Maguire ones.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's right. Everybody fucking eat their words.
Yeah,
Like,
losers. Now he's like your favorite person after you poured milk on his head.
exactly. I think everybody's like, fuck yeah, god damn it. Like when he fights Sofia Vergara's husband in the first one.
Yeah. He was supposed to be Venom.
How is that? Oh, really? Oh, he
Eddie
would have been
Brock.
yeah, was he Eddie Brock in that?
Yeah.
Wow, he would have been a great Venom. What's that guy's name? John Latuglio or something like that?
Yeah, I forget his name.
Chugalo.
I don't think it's John.
No, I'm thinking of I'm mixing that. That's the guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I think his name's like John Latuglio.
Yeah.
Fuck. Anyway, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. No,
He's,
it's funny how that guy turned into
Deadshot or whatever.
No, the guy from That 70s Show.
What?
The main character.
Oh, Eric Foreman.
Yes.
Topher Grace.
How they just recasted him, but it's like
yeah. What the fuck?
rather extreme recasting.
Yeah, I think they should have went with the big buff guy instead. I don't know.
Probably.
That was but Topher Grace was coming off a hot show. Come on, make him Venom.
Yeah.
They knocked out the park with Doc Ock. Even Sandman.
Yeah.
Even Green Goblin. They had to have one miss,
Yeah. Gotta
Anyway,
have
sorry. That was a tangent just from the first sentence. But, I've had that feeling of being like, maybe one day I'll get bit by a fucking spider and I won't die and I'll get muscles the next day and my glasses won't need to be on my face no more. Anyway, but that feeling usually dissipates shortly after because we're a normal human being. On the other hand,
Speak for yourself.
we have others who watch a movie and need to become that character in order to have a fulfilled life. Unfortunately, the characters that these particular people choose are never the people that most of us idolize or even want to be around. Yes, I have 4 people here. Can you name them? Can you name these characters who I'm going to say?
The people that everybody want to idolize?
Yeah.
Okay. Ryan Gosling from Driver.
Oh, that's a good one. I didn't have that one. He's okay, though. He's okay. I would like to be around him. He's quiet and he'll protect you. He's
So
fine.
you're saying people that people wouldn't want to be around.
Yeah, 4 characters that people
Okay.
like. There's a certain type of person that likes them, but like everybody's like, no, they kind of suck. They're like assholes.
Okay. Well, Joker.
That was our person. That was holding up the end with our personal favorite, the Joker. Yep,
Yeah.
Joker.
Neo.
No. I'll give you another one just so you can figure out the other 2.
Okay.
Tyler Durden
Okay. I
from
wouldn't have
Fight
got.
Club.
I haven't seen that movie in 30 years, so I wouldn't
Okay.
have gotten that one.
Okay. One of them is just sitting. Think finance.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yep, Jordan Belfort.
Okay.
And who's the last one?
Oh, I know who it is.
It's the most obvious one.
James Bateman or what's
Patrick Bateman.
Yes, the guy from American Psycho.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So Tyler Durden, Patrick Bateman, Jordan Belfort, and our personal favorite, the Joker, baby.
Joker, baby.
So today, I want to tell you about a man who idolized the wrong character and not only paid a price for it, but others paid a bigger, more severe price for it. As today, we talk about Mark Twitchell, the Dexter killer.
Oh, I thought he was going to try to be Mark Twain.
He's like, oh, I just love to be on a big riverboat. You know that? You know his real name's Samuel Clemens, and he got the name Mark Twain because that is a river, a something you call out on a boat when you're checking the river's deepness. Do you have like a big stick, and you like stick it in on like
Mark and the
side?
twang.
Yeah, it's like Mark Twain means like clear water or something like that.
For some reason, I always thought that was the opposite. They named that after him.
Oh no! I think he named himself after that. It's kind of like a lemony snicket.
Yeah.
A
And what was
lemony
his real name?
snicket.
Sam Clemens.
Samuel Clemens.
That sounds like a baseball player.
Yeah, he was.
Weren't we all?
Maybe. Yeah.
Probably. There's a chance he swung a stick.
See, and that's kind of like Lemony Snicket, where it's like Lemony Snicket is when like the guy's like at the edge of the bed and the girl's like standing by like the head.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
You never done a Lemony Snicket before? I'm gonna ruin this man's life.
Who?
Lemony.
Lemony?
I don't know his real name, but that's not his real name. His
It
real name is
can't be.
Lemony. That's a series of unfortunate events for all y'all who don't know. Anyway, Mark Twitchell. That's who we're talking about today. So Mark Twitchell was born in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, on July 4th, 1979. Means nothing. He's Canadian. Not much is known about his parents or childhood, but it is said that Mark grew up in a very typical household and lived a fairly normal life. Moving to the Midwest for his adolescent years, so I guess he did become American. Now July 4th birthday is cool. Mark moved back to Canada in the early 1990s, not cool no more, where he would attend school at Northern Alberta Institute of Technology.
Damn,
where
they got schools over there?
I thought that he had big hockey rinks.
You know what the Canadian national sport is?
Moose knuckle.
It's lacrosse.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of because it's a Native American sport, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of Native American tribes up in.
Well, technically, it's in Canada, so that wouldn't be Native American.
Oh shit!
Native North American.
Native Canadian. Oh, no, it is It is still American.
Yeah.
What if like they named North America North Canada? That's real cool.
South Canada.
That's really cool to think about, huh? I'm glad I said that. Fucking kill me. So he went to Northern Alberta Institute of Technology, where he would take courses in radio and television. Sound familiar, David?
No.
David took radio classes. Can you tell, guys? Look at him.
Can you tell?
He's hey Peter every fucking day.
Hey, Peter. Play the new tunes, Peter.
Hey Bonnie, play the Peter song. Play the Peter song. So he was described as a loner for the most part. Sound familiar, David?
Fuck you, man.
But he did have a small core group of friends. One such friend went on to describe Twitchell not only as a loner, but also as a untrustworthy person, stating that he lied unnecessarily when he would fail to complete his part in a group project. He would make up like outlandish stories and excuses of why he wasn't able to finish. Like,
Yeah, I've never done that.
he's like, oh my God, I had to. He's like, I couldn't finish. I had to help my uncle paint his white box truck white again. A bunch of hooligans graffitied. A bunch of guys in crazy, like, they had like turtle shells on their back, and they had like these weapons and these masks, and they graffitied his truck.
What's crazy is they like graffitied his truck, but it was like it said my nickname, and it looked really good. But we don't know who did it.
I was making a Ninja Turtle joke, but that is better. I like that one better. That's better. So, Mark, I just almost read the first paragraph again. Fuck. Oh, God damn it. Twitchell was also a self-toted huge Star Wars fan. So, because this was, I guess most of the shit was happening right, it says right before episode 1 came out. So, 2000, shit.
2000.
I have it somewhere in here. Is it 2000?
I think so.
So when episode 1, The Phantom Menace, was premiering in Canada, one of Twitchell's friends decided to have a stand-a-thon outside the theater, I guess, in order to raise money for charity. And Twitchell, I guess, was also part of the charity or, like, helped out. And I guess Twitchell thought he would help by obtaining and auctioning off conceptual drawings, like concept drawings, created by the production team of the Star Wars film. So it's like, oh, shit, you got those? Like, cool, we could raise money for the charity. But it would seem like a nice gesture if it wasn't for the fact that the friend realized that they were all forgeries and fake in nature. And once again, after confronting Twitchell about them, he refused to acknowledge the fraudulent drawings. He was like, no, they're real. And he's like, I know these are fake.
You signed them, Twitchell.
He's like,
that's your name.
He's
Did
like,
you work
no,
on this movie?
He's like, all the drawings are your nickname, and they're really good.
They're really good. We can't sell these. They're too good.
He's like, all the drawings are of your uncle's truck. They're just pictures of your uncle's truck. He's like, that was on Tatooine. I don't know what to fucking tell you, assholes. You guys haven't seen the movie yet. You're standing outside.
That's why I didn't finish the project, because I had to drive back from Tatooine.
See, yeah. And that's the perfect part of it. It's a stand-a-thon before seeing the movie. So he could have put anything in those pictures and be like, these are concept drawings because you guys haven't even seen the movie yet.
It could have been an egg with a big bush.
Yeah. He's like, and then people are like sitting through the credits and they're like, when is it going to come? He's like, just wait. Wait a little longer. So, Twitchell actually loves Star Wars so much that after 2 failed marriages and 2 failed careers as a paper salesman and an alarm system salesman, he would decide to create his very own feature-length fan prequel film called Star Wars Secrets of the Rebellion, which was supposed to take place days prior to Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. So, it's kind of going back to the original 3, and I guess it was a prequel to 4. Twitchell lacked formal training, having never been on a legit film set, which is the best thing to do.
So you get real experimental.
He's like, I don't even want to make a short film. I'm going to make like a fucking feature Star Wars film.
It starts off with a guy hitting his alarm clock and getting up.
And then it's
isn't
like,
that like
bing 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 bang da da da.
Isn't that like a big film school cliche? Is like every student film starts with someone like hitting their alarm clock and like dreading getting up.
Yeah, one of the key factors of like a student film is like you're showing shit that's not interesting.
Yeah,
like it'll be like showing him driving to work, but nothing happens that like helps like move the story along. It's just shots that they're like, okay, like he brushes his teeth and then he make an egg and then he with the bush and then he it's like all that kind of shit. So yeah, it's like the morning montage because they're just like, well, I have a house, I'll shoot it in here.
That's the beautiful thing. One of the most beautiful things I think about Shaun of the Dead, how they do that cliche, but like super action movements, like quick cuts and like
the camera
loud
whips.
music. Yeah,
that's great. That's like very unique. So it's like it's good. It's very good. So, like I said, Twitchell lacked formal training, having been on a legit film set, but went all out on the production regardless, bringing in production crews and trying to learn on the sets while filming, which is, I mean, it's fine to do that, but not when like you're like making a feature length film and directing it and like trying to like, that's what you do before. So the film was largely filmed on green screen sets at his alma mater, Northern Alberta Institute of Technology, in the summer of 2006. And for the actors, he mostly used local artists, but Twitchell was able to get a cameo from Jeremy Bulloch.
Oh.
Do you actually know who that is?
Wasn't he an alien in that one scene?
No. He says a British actor best known for his role as bounty hunter Boba Fett in the original Star Wars films.
Oh, wow. That's actually good.
But like he had a helmet on the entire time.
Yeah.
So
probably wasn't him.
I know, right? He's just like, no, I'm definitely like, no, that wasn't. But
I see that guy outside a Safeway all the time asking for money.
This is Boba Fett. Yeah. That's him. I'm like, that's Boba Fett. That's Bob, and that's Bob Fett. so it's also really interesting because like his friend was like, oh no, it was his former teacher at that school was like, it was like a real film set. There were woodworkers and seamstress all over. I'm like, I've never seen that on a film set. Like, I do believe that like you could be like, it was a big production, but there's not like, I mean, I guess there's like a wood shop. I guess, yeah, I mean, whatever. He got
All I
people
care
to help
about
him
is
out.
Crafty.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
have Crafty?
They had granola bar on set. Oh, so
Fruit
good.
snacks and LaCroix.
so sadly though, the film was never saw release because while he was pursuing this hobby, he was also pursuing another more sinister hobby at the same time. As you could tell by this point, I brought up the whole Star Wars thing to show that like how into media he got. Like it was like it became his whole personality, like some of these things. And the next thing would definitely become his personality because you see, Twitchell was not just a Star Wars fan, but also a huge Dexter fan. I had no idea that Dexter came out in like 2006. I didn't know it was that early.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was 16.
Yeah.
That adds up to me.
Oh, 16. What does that mean?
I was 16 years old, and that sounds about right.
Oh, I think you said 16 as in like 2006.
No.
Okay. So for those of you who don't know, Dexter is about a forensic technician specializing in blood spatter patterns who becomes a vigilante serial killer, killing rapists, other murderers, and just bad people in general to satiate his murderous hunger. And since Dexter is a crime scene specialist, he is able to get away with the murders by covering up exactly what the CSIs would be looking for. It's actually a great show. I watched it up until
most of
it. What's that?
I said most of it is really good.
I watched it up until season 3, The Trinity Killer, which was like a fantastic season. And then people were like, "Oh, it's okay after that." There's some seasons that are like a little better, but like I heard season 3 was like the peak, and then I just kind of watched recaps because I was like, I can't watch this entire show. But
I watched all of it
good.
except for the new stuff that came out more recently.
Oh, I haven't heard anything about that. Is that good or bad?
Dog shit.
Is it bad?
Yeah. No, I watched like 2 or 3 episodes of the new stuff and just never went back.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
They could have really made that good. So, Twitchell thought of himself as quite the intelligent fellow who would pull off such a... Oh, wait, what the fuck? Yeah, okay. So he thought himself as quite an intelligent fellow who could pull off such a ruse. This might be a good time to also mention that in September 2008, inspired by the Dexter television series, he wrote and directed an 8-minute horror movie called House of Cards in a rented garage. And the story was about a killer who lures a philandering man off an online dating website and kills him. So the problem that I don't understand with this is his short film and even like what he's about to do does not represent Dexter in the way that Dexter represents. Like, Dexter is a person who has serial killer tendencies. He has these urges that he wants to act on, but he knows he can't in a civilized society because murder is not allowed. He finds a loophole by killing bad people, people who he sees are like pests and murderers and like just people you don't want around. So people that aren't going to be missed. This guy, on the other hand, is like, I'm tricking people into going on a date with a woman and then murdering them. And that's what he's about to do in like real life too. He's like emulating his film. And
I'm
like,
getting that food back.
What?
I paid for the food. I'm going to get it back.
She can give me a kiss at the end of the night. You gotta get murdered now. Sorry. Cheesecake Factory ain't cheap.
Nope.
You ate. Okay, you're supposed to share the brown loaf of bread at the table, and you ate most of it. And that's my favorite part. You have to die.
Yeah. Can't eat all that pumpernickel without me.
It got oatmeal on top, if you look.
Did you see the oatmeal?
Did you see the little oats on the top of the bread? It's like oatmeal. I don't even know what accent I do anymore. It like a oatmeal. I'm like, I don't even know who this man is.
You're an equipment manager for a football team in Alabama.
And every anniversary, we just go to Cheesecake Factory. But no specialty drinks.
No, God no. Those are like 15 a pop, right?
Can we get
I don't
cheesecake?
think I've ever been to a Cheesecake Factory, so I don't know.
Honey, can I get a cheesecake? What the fuck? What do you think this place is? Cheesecake Factory? Oh, fuck.
I walked myself right
God
into that
damn
one.
it. What do you think this is? The brown bread with oatmeal on top factory? You can't just be eating a whole loaf. Okay. So Twitchell created a plenty of fish dating account. I don't know if that's around anymore.
It was
I've heard
back in
of
my day.
I've heard of it. What do you think this is? Fish store? What do you think we got? Plenty of fish? Oh, fuck.
I downloaded a dating app once, and then I found out that it was a Jewish dating
Grindr.
app.
Oh, J-Date.
No, it wasn't. It was before J-Date. It was like Bagel Date or something like that.
Oh, coffee meets bagel.
I don't know if that was it.
Dude, I think it is because I downloaded that too, and just recently they were like, I read an article or I got like an ad on like TikTok, and they're like, "Do you want to meet like a nice Jewish girl or Jewish boy?" Or I'm like, "Both," and they're like,
One of each, please.
and I was like, they're like, "Sign up for Coffee Meets Bagel." I was like, "I thought this was a Grubhub alternative for breakfast items."
Yeah, to protect myself, I thought it was a food delivery service too.
I wasn't on there. I just like talking to people. I wasn't doing anything bad. So he started a Plenty of Fish dating account and began to implement his script in real life. Like I said, a short film script. On the site, Twitchell first befriended a man named Giles or Gillis, like Gilles. I don't know.
Probably
It might be
Giles.
Giles. Okay, we'll go Giles. Giles Tetrault, pretending to be a woman named Sheena. Sheena convinced Giles to pick her up on a date on October 3rd, 2008, from the garage he had rented and filmed projects in. So, like, the same set, the garage he rented to film his Dexter movie, he was, like, using as, like, meet me here. And he made a fucking kill room in it.
Ooh.
If you've seen Dexter, he hangs the when he kills somebody, he like usually wraps them in like cellophane, like
He wraps the whole room in cellophane.
well, he puts tarps up like everywhere because he's a blood splatter guy. So he puts tarps everywhere so there's like he could clean up the blood, and then he wraps the person in like a cocoon of cellophane, not their face obviously, and then to kill them, all he does. Which is actually like not as realistic, but like it's also a TV show and they can't get really like gruesome with the torture and they still have to make him the protagonist. But he just like pushes a knife into their chest, into their heart, and like kills them. But I feel like a real serial killer would be like, I'm gonna cut off your arms and then like make you dance like a marionette or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd be a lot more sinister. But then we'd be like, is this the guy the protagonist? I know that guy is like a rapist, but that's like a little extreme.
Yeah, I didn't like it when Dexter cut his dick off and fed it to the guy. It was
He
too
ate
much. It was too much.
So he put it into hot dog bun too. That was like it was funny. But was it
Just,
supposed to
but
be
with
funny?
just relish, that's where I drew the line.
What do you think this is? The hot dog store? Don't eat your dick. Come on. The starving kids in Dick Town. So as Giles entered the garage, Twitchell attacked him with a stun baton while wearing a black and gold hockey mask. So sick.
Whoa. He's like
but
in
his-
Hollywood Undead.
Charlie Cena's got a weenie that he loves to show, bitch. Dude,
You thought we forgot about Hollywood Undead, didn't you, people?
wake up, drink beer, grab rear, put on some scene gear.
I went to college in Idaho. Those guys were big.
Yeah, they're big and like I have to say this is so funny, but like that was like a high school, like we like it was like raunchy, like fucking suburban white kid rap, and we're like, yeah, he's talking about boobs and penis and beer and like, oh yeah, not knowing it's like just not good. It's like
Just the
it's
worst
like,
music ever made.
It's if Monster Energy drink made a song. It's just like it's crazy. But I went to college, and my buddy Ben, he like when we got to college, he had a Hollywood Undead poster, and when we all moved in together, he like put it on the wall, and I remember looking at that and being like, oh, I don't think that girls will like this when they come over.
No.
Like it's not
aggressive.
Yeah, he had like each individual person in the band's fucking mask as like a cutout.
Oh no!
It came with like the poster, so like there's
They only had like one album, didn't they?
I know they're probably still making music. They're up there with Bloodroot. I'm gonna keep bringing them up. Someone needs to promote them.
Yeah, shout out Deadroot.
They're kind of like they're in the same era of 303, but I still fuck with 303.
Yeah?
I mean, they got some like somebody will play a 303 song. I'm like, okay, that's like pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty solid. Anyway, so Hollywood Undead character Twitchell. Twitch would be a Hollywood Undead guy name, because he's just on coke or something.
Holy shit!
So,
they came out with an album in 2022.
Yeah.
2020, 2017, 2015, 2013, 2012, 2011.
Should we get back? Are we judging too harshly? Should we
might
get back
be.
in?
Let's get back into it. Hotel
Okay.
California with a K was their most recent album.
Dude, why did I know that was gonna be the thing? Of course they spelt it with the K. Like, oh my god, that's so bad. I hate.
Oh
that's like,
no! They
is
have
there like a skull wearing a military helmet on their album cover? Like, no.
The album cover is a kid holding up a cardboard sign with Sharpie that says Hotel California, and he has a bloody nose, and the downtown LA is in the background.
Is it on fire?
No,
Okay.
but they do have a song called Trap God.
I think I'm gonna have to do like a serious deep dive. I
Yeah.
picture like one of their album covers. It would be like a pistol firing with like a pill coming out of it,
Yeah.
into
Whoa.
a guy's mouth. It's cool.
Their second to last album, I don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at. I think there's it's like a cyberpunk world with a giant dove with a halo dropping a grenade.
Oh my god, totally. Dude, at least they're on brand, Like there's no mistaking that it is Hollywood Undead. They didn't change for the industry. They're still undead.
Dude, they have a song called Heart of a Champion featuring Papa Roach
Oh, yes.
and Ice 9 Kills.
Dude, I know what I'm doing right after this podcast ends. Do not turn the podcast off. You can listen to them later, okay?
Oh my god.
But you can listen. Oh, Jesus. Okay, we got to get back into this. I'm getting too excited over here.
I got one last thing. I believe a dove carrying a hand grenade is their logo because now I'm noticing it on almost every album cover.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Yep.
I wonder if they still wear masks.
Based off of their 2015 album cover, they do still wear masks.
Good for them. Not gold and black hockey mask. I
mean, God forbid anybody, recognizes you and bothers you in public when you're a member of Hollywood Undead.
Undead.
All right, let's get
Hollywood. Are you from Hollywood Undead? Yeah, I am. They just start beating them up. Come on, Charlie Sheen, show me your weenie.
I wonder if he changed his name after Charlie Sheen got AIDS.
Oh, I'm moving on. So, however, like I said, David's laughing really hard. But so he hit him with a stun baton, wearing a black and gold hockey mask. Hit him with the maids. So, but his first attempt was a failure, as Giles was able to escape after a terrible struggle. So the first guy was able to get away. However, Giles did not report the incident to the police because he was embarrassed. And Giles was later nicknamed the one who got away, but his lack of reporting gave Twitchell enough time to strike again. That's the one thing. Never feel embarrassed about scammers or like people that try to murder you. Like
that means they're gonna fucking do it again. So stop it before they do it again.
Yeah, I think it's just like the whole thing where it's like, I let this guy convince me. I get why he was embarrassed because he's probably just like,
yes,
I let this guy convince me he was a woman, and I got catfished. And not only did I get catfished, but I got murdered catfished. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Or maybe he didn't think he was going to get murdered. Maybe he thought he was going to get robbed or jumped.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I got away. Like, they're not going to catch the guy. He's just going to rob some other guy next. So he didn't know he was probably a murderer. But
No.
holy shit. Lucky him. So in October 2008, so same month, John Brian Altinger, 38-year-old former oil field equipment manufacturer, known to his friends as Johnny, unknowingly interacted with Twitchell on the dating website Plenty of Fish once again. On October 10th, just a week after the first attack, Atlinger informed his friends of his plans to meet a woman with whom he had been chatting with. Atlinger discovered too late that Twitchell had posed as a woman online in order to lure him into the kill room. I mean, it's kind of a weird way to word that, to be like, he discovered too late. And it's like, what, when he was getting murdered? Like, yeah, that's kind of too late. I don't know how he got him all the way into the kill room, which I think is kind of weird, but he set up a kill room set up in the rented garage being used as a film studio. Twitchell attacked Atlinger once he was in the room, bludgeoning and stabbing him in a struggle, before cutting him apart, partially burning him, and dumping his remains in garbage bags into a storm sewer. If you guys didn't know, in Dexter, he takes the body parts, puts them in a garbage bag, and then he goes out on his boat and dumps them into the sea. So this was the budget version of that.
For some reason, I thought he threw him like the Everglades and the crocodiles ate him.
No, they end up in a Everglades area at the end of like season 2, but no, he went out on his boat, and
That's
because
right.
all the bodies start floating to the top at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to deal with that shit. So yeah, he put him in the sewer, which goes to the sea. So Atlinger's friends became concerned after they received emails supposedly from Atlinger claiming that his date had taken him on an extended vacation to Costa Rica. I've never heard of a first date going that well.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
So, at work, a resignation letter arrived by mail, but there was no response to a request for a forwarding address for sending a final paycheck. It's kind of interesting that this guy was like, I'm going to like send emails on behalf of him and like send a letter to my friends on behalf of him. Like, I think he was trying to be like clever and stuff, but it kind of just raised more red flags. People were like, this is like, you went like 80% of the way, and people were like, oh, this is kind of still weird. So because of that, Atlinger's friends broke into his condominium, where they found his passport, dirty dishes, and no indication of his having packed for a trip. A homicide investigation was soon launched by the Edmonton Police Department.
That's because she bought him a whole new wardrobe and all new things. He didn't need to pack.
Oh, there's like nudist beaches in Costa Rica, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. And plus, he had a few trash bags, so if he needed to like go into a restaurant where they didn't allow Charlie Sheen's weenie, he could have just put a trash bag like a fucking big old black diaper. You ever done that?
He should have added it to the email. We were going, we won't need clothes. Wink, wink, wink.
Just big old black trash bag diapers. Wink, 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 wink. Eggplant emoji, peach emoji, guy screaming emoji.
Knife emoji.
Knife emoji, trash bag emoji, kill room emoji. Fish, plenty of fish emoji. So on October 31st, Halloween, about 21 days later, police came to question Twitchell. I think they questioned him like a little bit before, but about the connection with the missing man. Twitchell related an improbable account to police of having met Atlinger before his trip to Costa Rica. So according to Twitchell, Atlinger sold his Mazda 6 to Twitchell for $40 Canadian, all the cash Twitchell had on hand. I don't know how you murder somebody. You send an email being like, I'm moving to Costa Rica. Oh, also I'm quitting my job. Also like this and that. And then you keep the guy's car. Of course they are going to come to you and be like, you're one of the primary suspects.
Yeah.
But I think he saw it and was like, ooh, but I can't just like burn a Mazda 6. Like, come on, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's what it actually it might be. I don't really know cars, but like there might be somebody who's like, Mazda 6s are sick actually. Like that's a nice car.
Is Mazda still around?
I haven't Zoom. Are they Zoom? I haven't seen any.
One of the major companies went away. It was the one with the dancing hamsters.
Oh, Scion?
Yeah, Scion. Scion went away.
Yeah, Mazda 6 looks nice.
Yeah.
Looks like a pretty standard sedan.
I'm
still
just
make 'em.
not so familiar with the Mazda line. I don't know anybody that's got a Mazda.
Oh, wait, did they stop making them in 2021? I'm just seeing like a lot of 2021 Mazdas.
Ooh.
I think they stopped making them. No. Yeah? No? Fuck.
Mazda 2023.
Is there going to be a Mazda? Oh,
Yeah,
I think
they've
so.
got
Yeah.
2023 CX-50 crossover SUV. So they're still
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, I know some car companies went under. I just wasn't sure which ones. Anyway.
Long live Mazda.
This is 2008. So wait, should I just type in a 2008 Mazda?
Yeah, see what
6?
that looks
You
like.
guys really care about this, right? Oh my god, this car is so fucking. This looks like whatever.
What is it? A CX-6?
I'm assuming that this was a brand new Mazda 6 in 2008, and I'm like, it's still just like the most generic looking car you've ever seen.
Oh my
It's like it's
God.
fine.
Oh my god.
Oh fuck, this is fucking bad. This is so fucking bad.
I'd rather be castrated than drive
Imagine-
this. I'd rather watch Charlie Timothy or whatever his fucking name is play a young Willy Wonka than drive this thing.
I'd rather see Charlie Sheen's weenie. I'm done with that joke. So he bought this car for $40, and the police are like, "This isn't weird at all." I mean, they thought it was immediately weird, but I can't believe he thought that would work. But the police, not believing his story, impounded Twitchell's laptop and car and found Attlinger's blood in the car's trunk. Fucking idiot. There's literally blood in the car, and he's still like, I still want to keep it. I won't burn it. So police arrested Twitchell and charged him with first-degree murder of Attlinger. The key piece of evidence, you're going to love this, David. The key piece of evidence presented by the Crown, I don't know what that means. Maybe it's Canadian politics.
No.
I think it has something to do with like Canadian law.
Okay.
But presented by the Crown at Twitchell's first-degree murder trial was a document entitled SK Confessions, which stood for Serial Killer Confessions.
Oh, very very
Ambiguous.
cryptic.
Yeah. Apparently, he tried to like argue in court. He's like, "No, it stands for Stephen King. He's my favorite author." But then, like, the document was like, "I cut him up." Like,
Actually, there are no Stephen King books in your shitty apartment. We looked.
no, but sometimes I dress up like a clown and I pull children into the sewer. So that's the kind of thing I do. But also, like I said, this guy was like a compulsive liar. So like, he'll come up with the fucking dumbest, most outlandish lies just to not say the truth. Like, he's like, this might work. And the document had been recovered from Twitchell's laptop despite having been deleted. So he deleted it and they still got it. The document begins with the passage, "This story is based on true events. The names and events were altered slightly to protect the guilty. This is the story of my progression into becoming a serial killer." He's really just digging his own grave.
Going all in. Gotta respect it.
It presented this is my story and how I got a Mazda 6.
For free.
For $40. All the money I had in my pocket. So it presented an account of its narrator's planning, failed first attempt, and successful second attempt to lure a man to his garage and murder him using fake online dating profiles as bait. It went on to describe the process of dismembering the body and attempts to dispose of the remains. During the trial, Twitchell admitted to killing Attlinger and authoring the document, but claimed, see, this is what I'm saying, he's like, I did that because he knew the evidence was like stacked against him, but he was just like, I did those things, but claimed he had acted in self-defense. He described the document as fiction based on fact, as if he had planned Attlinger's death deliberately in order to craft a compelling story. So what he said, I don't know if I say it later on, but I'll just tell you now. He said that, I'll keep reading. It'll come up. So he claimed that he did all of this in order to hype. This is what I want to say. He did this all in order to hype up his horror short film he was shooting in that very same space, stating that he would try and lure men to the garage, let them escape, and then would and then when his movie came out, that people would come forward and say, "Hey, that actually happened to me." And that was like guerrilla marketing.
It's just a prank, bro.
Yeah, that's the whole fucking thing.
Except for I actually did kill one of you guys. Whoopsie.
Yeah, so he was just like, no, it was like a thing where like people would be like, oh my god, like that is actually based on like a real thing, and like the guy looked like that, and like, oh my god, like I'm still like, that's fucking highly illegal to like do that to people. You like lure them and like threaten them. But also the whole self-defense part was apparently he claimed that once Atlinger found out it was just a prank, he attacked Twitchell, and Twitchell was forced to stab him in the heart because of the attack. And then he panicked and he cut up the body.
Yeah.
You know, like any normal person would do. But too much damning evidence was pulled from the document, including one passage depicting how he cut off his victim's head and played with it like a hand puppet, saying, "I grabbed his jaw with my gloved hand and moved it while making a funny noise to make it look like he was talking. I chuckled to myself at the total silliness of it all."
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, talk about
His attorney, his
Joker.
defense attorney's like, God damn it. Yeah.
They're like, "I thought you deleted that."
I thought we talked about the puppet thing.
Like they look over at him and he's like, "I'm a pretty good writer, aren't I?"
They look over him. He's like, nah, like playing with his chin.
He's like, imagine seeing a film where that happens. Pretty funny, right? Pretty silly.
God.
So he also, this is a little graphic for those who want to skip like a minute forward. He talked about cutting open the torso of the victim and watching the organs slowly collapse. "If I had a sense of smell, this might be disgusting for me," he said, "but I only find it fascinating." The author talked about, the author who wrote the paper, quote unquote him, talked about killing. He said, "Most people fantasize, and it only ever stays a fantasy. They don't have the disposition or the stomach to go all the way with their dark urges, but I do." Later, he went on, I do not have any reservations about disposing of the negative people in this world who deserve a one-way ticket to the afterlife, if there is such a thing." First off, motherfucker, why does this guy? Because he wanted to date somebody. Like, that's what I don't get. He was like,
Yeah.
"I'm Dexter."
It's kind of like, where'd we start with this, huh?
Yeah.
Like, I forgot where this all started, eh?
He lost the plot literally. He's like, "Oh shit, they had to do something bad, right?" So, he said one person he really wanted to dispatch was an ex-boss, and he said the man he wrote was a twisted old fart who hated life and everything in it. I owed it to the world to remove him from its glorious surface, and I would take my chance when it was ready. I don't condone killing your ex-boss who is an asshole, but like, at least if you did that, I would be like, okay, he thought this guy was a bad guy.
Yeah.
Do you think like he was talking to him on Plenty of Fish, and she's like, "Oh my god, I'm like super into like hurting children. Are you?" And he's like, "Not really."
No.
She's like, "It really turns
kids.
me on. It really turns me on when I hurt children." He's like, "Yeah, I guess I'm into that. Sure. Are you look hot in your pic? Okay, I'm fine." And he's like, "Got him. He's bad.
He's a bad, bad man.
That's a bad daddy.
That's a bad daddy, and I need to kill
Bad
him.
daddy. He needs to die."
I've been working on a script. It's called All Bad Daddies Must Die.
I'm working on a script. It's called "What I Would Do to Go on One Date." I would tell a woman I hurt children.
It's just a long list.
I would tell her I was conservative, like ultra conservative. I would tell her that I was the fourth prince son of the Ugandan prime minister of Ecuador. That's a thing.
I would tell her I love Disney. All things Disney.
I'm a Disney adult. Oh my god, have you had the pineapple Dole Whip? Do you know you could drink beer in California Adventure? Anyway.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you ain't a real Disney adult. I've been there.
Okay.
That's how I did go on a couple first dates.
Oh yeah, I worked there, so
I had to trade fucking pins with her. You know, like the pins on the lanyard?
I saw an elderly woman take off the helmet mask of one of those little chipmunks.
She did that?
It was like in this underground tunnel when I was working there.
At Disney?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get sued for saying
You
this.
did not work at Disney.
I did 2 commercials there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was in like the underground tunnels where all the mascots go down, like take their helmets off to fucking breathe. And this lady looked like she was gonna fucking die.
Oh, she was in the in the.
She was in the
thing.
costume, and she went down to like take a break.
Oh,
No! She took the head off. She said the chin kills.
I was about to say, it does kill. What's the joke? That the head comes off? It's interesting. Okay. So just to wrap this up, during the trial, Twitchell's interest in the television series Dexter was noted repeatedly, and his personal identification with its lead character, Dexter Morgan, a vigilante serial killer, prompted several media outlets to refer to him as the Dexter Killer. Another document found on Twitchell's laptop did not make its way to the evidence file for the jury to read during his trial, but it was entitled "A Profile of a Psychopath," and believed by investigators to have been written by Twitchell. It is a detailed self-analysis of personality and behavior. I think they didn't want to bring that to trial, actually, because I think they were concerned about him being seen as insane, and I think they wanted him – they're like, he's not insane. He's like an egomaniac, but he's not like an insane person. He knew what he was doing the entire time.
Yeah.
And I feel like because he said that like in casual language, he's like, I believe I am insane and stuff like that. And then all these psychologists were like, they like went on the stand and they're like, he's not insane. Like you can't give him insanity, because I think they wanted to get him like the death penalty.
Yeah.
But on April 12th, 2011, took a while, 3 years, Twitchell was convicted of first-degree murder for the death of Attlinger and sentenced to life in prison without possibility of parole it says for 25 years. So what is life in prison without the possibility of parole for 25 years? What does that mean? Does that mean 25 years or life in prison without the possibility of parole? Why
Maybe they don't expect him to make it 25 years?
No, I'm sorry. I think it was life in prison, but you can't ask to get paroled until 25 years has passed.
That's probably
and then you can petition for parole.
Yeah.
Which I still don't think they would give him. Maybe they would. This is a pretty interesting case where he's like, he kind of just seems like a dumb guy.
Yeah,
the dumb guys are dangerous too.
The only problem is if he comes out. I mean, what year did he go in?
2011.
I think about all those movies and TV shows he's missed out on. Who knows? Who
God,
knows?
if he sees Joker, we're all fucked.
Yeah, he's gonna talk his way into a talk show.
Oh, he's gonna shoot Jimmy Fallon.
He's gonna write a book about this experience. It's gonna become a big seller. He's gonna go on Jimmy Fallon. He's gonna blow his fucking brains out everywhere.
He's like, oh my God, what is that, a gun? Oh my God, that's crazy. Look at that. Everybody has a gun. Everybody, look at, he has a gun.
Can I get another drink?
Oh, stop. You can't do this to Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Don't out Jimmy. Jimmy is fine with his alcohol. He's a good time.
Oh, I'm sure he's fun. I'm sure he's fun.
You got degloved. Remember that?
What?
He got degloved. His wedding ring got caught on a basketball hoop, and it like ripped the flesh off of his ring finger.
Yeesh. Is that why it's bone skinny now?
Didn't feel a thing. Drunk as hell. I don't know.
6 foot hoop.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was a 10-foot hoop.
Well, he probably didn't get the dunk in if he hit his finger on the hoop, on the rim. I mean,
I'm just saying.
It's true.
Maybe. Are you done? Was that the end?
Yep, that was it.
Oh, okay.
We're just talking about Jimmy Fallon now. I love Jimmy.
All right, Tobin. We'll start mine here. Over the years on this podcast, we have asked so many questions.
Important ones.
We've dove headfirst into countless unsolved mysteries looking for the truth. But today, I'm going to be answering one of mankind's greatest questions. Where do garden gnomes come from?
I know you have an affinity.
Well,
you own a couple. Do you
I do.
not?
I do. Well, I had an epiphany the other day while I was appreciating and spectating some of my many beloved garden gnomes who protect my house every moment of every day. And it made me curious on why. Why do we have them? Out of all the things in the world, why did humans decide to make a common lawn ornament out of a gnome?
You know what's weird to
What?
think about? You asked me, you're like, where do garden gnomes come from?
Yeah.
My initial thought was Tommy knockers. So I was
Okay.
thinking Nevada.
Yeah.
But then I thought to myself,
Is
their
that Nevada
garden
or Arizona?
Nevada has like a lot
Okay.
of mines.
Okay.
I know that they're miners, you know.
Yeah.
But garden gnomes, there's no gardens in Nevada. It's all desert. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, are Tommy knockers like the desert like mining version? Like, would you call the Seven Dwarves garden gnomes?
No, those are just
because
dwarves.
they're dwarves. So dwarves are maybe miners,
Yeah.
and then gnomes are gardeners.
Well, I actually get into it later because I didn't know this about gnomes. And we will
Okay.
get into it.
Cool.
Well, Tobin, here are the answers with a history of the
you do have
legendary. I have answers.
You do have answers for me today. I was about to say you're
Yeah.
you're not lying.
I wasn't fucking around earlier, buddy.
You
I
think
got
I-
answers.
You think I fuck around when it comes to gnomes?
So yes, this is the history of the legendary garden gnome.
Mr. Stokes, can I ask you
Yeah.
what your greatest strength is in the word? I don't fuck around with garden gnomes. Is probably my first fucking strength.
You know, it's really funny.
What?
Today at work, I was talking to one of my coworkers, and he asked me today. I wrote this last night. Asked me today. He said it was like a just kind of one of those. What? God damn it! I'm blanking on.
Would you rather type thing?
No, it's like when someone asks a question, but like you know that they do.
Oh my God! It's called a oh my God! I'm having a brain fart right now. I wish this was on
the goddamn word is.
I keep wanting to say hypocritical.
Asnot?
No.
It
We
sounds
already know
funny.
the answer. Oh my God! I'm having the biggest brain fart.
We're farting all over the place.
Rhetorical.
Yes.
It's rhetorical.
Yeah. It was kind of a rhetorical question, and he was just like, he's like, oh, you know those garden gnomes? And I thought it was so funny because I can't think of the last time anybody brought up garden gnomes in a conversation. And the
Never
fact that
for me.
the fact that I wrote this last night and I'm talking about this tonight, and this afternoon someone asked me if I knew about garden gnomes. I'm like, buddy, I know everything there is to know about garden gnomes right now.
You must have been giving off an aura or something.
Well, he told me he's one of our older workers and very funny guy. And he was telling me one time him and his family were going on a trip, and he had neighbors that had garden gnomes, and they stole 2 of them. And
From themselves?
no, from their neighbors.
Oh, I see.
And their neighbors were like calling people in the neighborhood, being like, "Did anybody see anybody like steal our garden gnomes?" But like, no. And so then this guy sent them like a selfie with the gnomes on a boat, like in another state.
No.
And so they just like kept sending them photos of them like camping with the gnomes, and the neighbors were like, "God damn it!"
That's like, yeah, terrorists. Like, if you want to ever see them, like,
Yeah.
again, alive.
Pretty funny.
I kind of wanted to picture you at work wearing a gnome hat, and you're like, why did you ask me?
I can make it happen.
Like a point. I thought he was going to gnome you. You've been gnomed. Oh,
I don't want to get into that.
You're going to try to fucking gnome me? You don't know me.
Well, I already did gnome you.
You've known me a couple times.
The first known garden gnomes came from what country? You want to take a swing?
Yes, Sweden,
No.
Norway,
No.
one of the Nordic countries, or like deeply forested. Maybe France.
Has a famous forest.
Russia?
No.
Switzerland.
No.
Austria.
No.
Okay, I give up. Germany.
Germany.
Fuck! I knew it.
The Black
getting
Forest.
Closer. Yeah, Black Forest. Okay.
Yep.
So their gummy bears.
Germany started making garden gnomes back in the early 1800s. So they've been around a while. Yeah.
Wow.
At this time, the first gnomes to bless people's gardens were made from clay, which is a practice that is still somewhat used today, but not as popular, along with other materials such as wood and plastic these days.
Ceramic, maybe, too.
Yeah.
You got a stone boy.
Oh, I've got a pure concrete one. I've got a plastic one. I think I have a wooden one.
Oh, wow.
So it did not take long for these little sexy boys to become a hot item as the gnomes started to make their travel to other countries. The garden gnomes really started to take off in the 1840s in England, and once the British got their hands on them, everybody wanted a piece of the action. In the beginning of it all, there were two German companies producing the gnomes, and it was a rivalry leaving a trail of blood.
Is the gnome wars?
Just you wait. The big hitters in the gnome world were Philip Gabriel, Greibel.
The rest of the podcast is you just slowly like
Greibel and August Heisner. These two were mortal enemies and had a race to be who was number one.
Well, how do you win that race?
Big
sales or
baby.
just making
you
the best
you
looking
just
gnome?
take it over and you run the other one out of business.
That's true.
So in the beginning, Philip and August grew up. I guess Auguste probably grew up as neighbors. The boys quickly became friends after discovering they both shared the hobby and obsession of gnomes.
Oh, this is so sad. It's friends turned enemies due to the gnome wars.
Yeah. It was said that an old man in their neighborhood was spreading rumors that at night gnomes would come in from the woods and kill the neighbor's cats who were damaging his rose bushes.
Oh, no.
Which is...
Oh man, we eating cat.
Yeah. After Philip's pet cat Patches was found dismembered in the old man's yard, the two boys decided to camp out to catch the gnomes in the action. The boys, without the old man's permission, set up a campsite in the woods overlooking the old man's yard. After a few days of sneaking out to keep watch, the boys witnessed the old man stumble out of his front door drunk, zigzagging through his yard to sit on a bench. After many nights of seeing no action, the two boys decided to watch because it was the first time they had ever seen anything actually moving in the front yard. After a short while, a cat came along, walking through the yard, going through the bushes, and went over to the man to rub its side against his leg, where they sat in horror watching the drunk old man kill the cat for destroying his roses.
Oh my God. Do you think that man is actually that's a sign of a serial killer?
Yeah, probably. Old German guy.
Yeah, but it's very common of old German men to just become serial killers, of course, but
yeah.
But good God.
So the two boys bonded over this moment of trauma and decided to make clay gnomes to haunt this evil old man for his crimes. The garden gnomes were born to be placed in his yard to always remind him of what he had done wrong.
Gnomes are cool and all, but have they ever heard of poison? They should have killed that motherfucker.
Yeah. I should also add that I made all that up.
You son of a fucking bitch. What's wrong with you? How are we ever going to have a credible podcast?
It was pretty good though, right?
Yeah, but my whole story was true. I feel like I have to preface everything mine. This is true. Remember, this is true.
All right, back to the truth. The men did exist.
Where did the truth end and the lies begin?
They didn't grow up next to each other, but those men were two rivals.
Okay, so that's true at least.
Yes, the men did exist.
I'm
but
concerned about you now, not this old man. You sick bastard. I might have to put you down.
oh man, hey, it makes a good movie.
Yeah. Oh, dude, was that a callback?
What?
Because literally, that is what my serial killer just did.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think you didn't even know that was a callback.
No, I mean, I didn't make that up on my top of my head. I wrote that. So yeah, the men did exist, but eventually, due to his craftsmanship, August Heisner would take the crown and become world famous for his gnomes.
Go August.
Unfortunately,
August.
this was around the same time as World War II, and due to the war, most of the original clay gnomes did not survive.
I heard that's why they
And,
actually started World War II.
Yes, it was the gnomes. Hitler
No,
fucking hated them.
No, people always say like like America starts war so they can get business up and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Make more bullets and manufacturing. And this guy's just like, let's start. He's like Hitler.
Yeah.
Yo, destroy all my gnomes so I could sell them more.
Yeah.
And he's like, yes.
Well,
He's like, yes, queen.
the article wasn't super clear, and I think that the factory might have gotten destroyed in the war too.
Oh, he had like a factory.
Oh yeah, he was mass producing them.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't just like whittling, I guess, out of this and
Yeah.
that. Oh, interesting.
So then after the war, Heisner decided to make a more unyielding gnome, known as the plastic garden gnome. No shock waves are gonna shatter it.
Were they all wood before?
Clay.
They were all clay. That's right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So like, if a bomb goes off like 3 miles away, every clay gnome in that radius is gonna go kaput.
Clay Gnome is a fucking cool band name.
It is.
Clay Gnome.
Hold on, let's hop on Spotify real quick.
Nomenclature.
Clay gnome.
Also, listen to Bloodroot if you can.
There's a song by Les Claypool
Oh,
called Granny's Little Yard Gnome.
okay. Les Claypool of Primus fame, of the intro to South Park fame.
You know what? I don't think there is a band named Clay Gnome.
Well,
Hop on it,
we're going to make it before we release this episode, so you guys
Hell
can't
yeah.
steal it.
you little thieves, you little goblins. So the plastic gnome, strangely enough, was considered a huge step back, as people found them to be too cartoony and creepy. Yet, for whatever reason, that has just stuck around for generations. So I guess like the original ones were much more detailed, more lifelike, like not so goofy looking.
I wonder if you could find like a clay gnome from like the 40s.
Probably not. They're probably insanely expensive.
Oh, I bet. No, I just want to see what they look like a picture.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find one. Keep talking.
Yeah, as all popular products go, cheap imitators started to pop up in the 80s from countries like the Czech Republic, and Poland. These countries started to flood the market with their shitty, cheap, knockoff gnomes. The American company Kimmel I just said Gomes. Kimmel Gnomes, kind of hard to say. Kimmel Gnomes is one of the few manufacturers of clay and resin gnomes that are painted by hand today. So they're not mass produced. And now I know what I want Santa Claus to bring me next winter. Like, I want someone to drop real money on a gnome for me. Also,
holy shit, this is cool. It's terrifying.
yeah,
But vintage German terracotta garden gnome.
nah, we don't want terracotta. We want
This is from the 1920s.
Heisners. Oh, so this is like a third party that didn't make it. Oh yeah, look at that scary motherfucker. How much?
Fucking rubbing his little fucking
Only
dirty
$175,
hands.
huh?
Yeah, it's on Etsy though. That's kind of weird.
Yeah,
It's
probably
you should-
replica.
Yeah, I don't know. Its face is pretty. Yeah, it does look like. I don't know. I'm
He's
no
scheming.
clone. I just said I'm no. What did you just say?
He's scheming.
Oh,
Looks like he's like rubbing his hands together with a big old smile. He's
I think you
scheming.
said something about semen.
Oh,
I'm like, no more gnomes for you. You're done.
so I was gonna
Ooh,
end
this one too. Wait, sorry, one more. This guy, he's
Oh,
laying
that's
on
flirty.
his chest. Yeah, he's like laying on his chest with his feet kicked up behind him. You know, like when you're trying to be like cute at a picnic.
When you're texting a cute boy at night.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the one that David wants. But this one's 1940s. This is that's ceramic. Heisner gnome. Is that one of the guys you just did? Yeah, it's a Heisner gnome from 1940.
He was the king. Let me see it. He was the king of gnomes, baby. Let me see it.
The kicked up guy.
Oh,
that's a Heisner gnome.
Yes, that just almost looks like a small boy.
Yes.
It doesn't
Is that
really.
Why you like him?
No, it's not very gnome-like.
Because I'd hurt a child. Go on a date with me.
So what I was saying was the American company Kimmel Gnomes. Mm-hmm. But side note, fun fact, talk show host Jimmy Kimmel is the great-grandson of the creator of Kimmel Gnomes and has inherited the fortune. But that's another joke. I don't know. He might be related. I just kind of...
Oh, you fucker. I was going to say, I was like,
he kind of looks like a little gnome.
Two show hosts backed up. I was going to make a joke and be like, I hate Nepo babies. But I think it's really funny to be a Nepo baby from a gnome, like...
distributor?
Yeah, a gnome I'm an heiress to a gnome family.
They're a low quantity, high quality gnome family. All hand painted, baby. So now we get into the real reason gnomes were picked for these lawn decorations. And no, again, just to make it clear, it was a joke about the old man killing cats. That wasn't real. But you know what? Sometimes I wonder if I would have just left that in and pretend like that was real. Like if I was 75 years old and someone like told me that story, and I would have like died right there and be like, my job's done.
I would have believed it until I was dead.
Yeah. I thought it was a good one.
Every time I saw a gnome, I would fucking tell people that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, actually, you want to hear a crazy story? The two guys, they watched an old man kill gnomes. Cats. Fuck.
Blamed it on the gnomes. They had to go clear the name, haunted him until he died.
He killed gnomes.
Yeah, you know what? You can change it to that.
Yeah, it's not real either. Fuck it. They were real until this old man made him extinct.
Yeah. So the history of gnomes also passes along some classic folklore and why you would just want a gnome in your garden. These little bastards are typically known as symbols of good luck. And originally, gnomes were thought to provide protection, especially if you had buried treasure or precious minerals in your yard.
Yo, they did that?
Yeah.
People did that?
Oh, yeah. Always bury your gold in the backyard.
I think that was like the same with fairies or something like that. I think like fairies protected your garden. There was something else that people like put in their garden, like fairy statues or like or like lanterns, because like the fairies would like protect the garden. I forget exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Or like
my niece sees our garden fairies all the time, and we like to leave them presents. They have a house up in our tree that we like to look at.
Is this something she actually believes, or are you fucking with me?
No, it's real.
Okay.
Yeah. 100% real. I'll send you. I'll show you a picture. There's a house in the tree. Yeah, physically.
Who built it? Fairies?
The fairies did.
Good carpenters.
Great carpenters. I would live in that house if I could fit. Now, this article I'm reading is suggesting...
It wasn't a tiny little Asian boy who just, like, whittled it and his fingers are bleeding because you're like, fairies. He's like, oh, come on, guys.
No.
I got paid a nickel for that. Come on, give me the credit at least.
Now I have to go to my job at Tesla and iPhone factory. So now this article I'm reading is suggesting that people use them to ward off pests, like a scarecrow or those like plastic owls. But I have never heard of anybody say like, oh yeah, I got a new garden gnome because I had rats in my cabbage patch.
If you told me you had rats in your cabbage patch, I'd be like, who did you
need to go to a
with?
fucking doctor, man.
Who did you sleep with, man?
It's fine. I don't
Does
need a
it
doctor.
burn?
I don't need a doctor because now I've got a garden gnome.
Hey, I really like you. I know we've been hanging out for a while, and I really like you, but I have to tell you, I have rats in my cabbage patch.
But I got a gnome. It's gonna clear up real soon.
I understand if you don't want to be with me anymore, but I have to be honest with you. I have rats in my cabbage patch. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, so I've never heard of it being like a defense thing against pests, Maybe
No.
I'm stupid, but
They're cute.
yeah. They
Owl
don't
scary,
fucking know
scarecrow
it.
scary, gnome cute.
Gnome is not necessarily scary, but it is strange.
It is Camp Strange.
Yeah, this is Camp Strange.
Camp Strange.
So gnomes also add a goofy and special connection to the old world for us. They're kind of a nostalgic thing, where farmers believed the good luck charm would help with their crops and make them more successful in making money with their crops because the crops are better, while protecting them from thieves, pests, and other issues. Some also believing that when no one was looking, they'd come to life and help with a little gardening here and there, which is probably why you see a lot of garden gnomes with gardening tools.
Why is there a little gnome? Why is there a little gnome dick-sized hole next to my carrots? Was he having sex with the soil again?
He's either fucking my soil or eating my carrots.
I know it was that one who was rubbing his hands together. I fucking know it was that one that was rubbing his hands together.
He's been scheming about my carrots since the day I brought him home.
I guess carrot make him horny. I don't know why.
Something about the orange.
For me, it's the Cabbage Patch.
If I could get the goddamn rats out.
I can't do it. Can't get away. I washed them 40 times. I can't get them out.
What was a surprise to me, I guess, was that I did not know that gnomes originate from Germany. But
The
I
hats
never
make sense.
I never put too much thought into it. And many places of the world have their own types of gnomes. It just happened to be I don't know who the original gnome is, but it's just the fact that this German one is the iconic one that we all think of with the pointy red hat, blue shirt.
It's kind of like Coca-Cola Santa Claus.
Exactly.
Like Santa Claus didn't look like Santa Claus that we think of now until Coca-Cola in like the 19...
Same with polar bears.
They did polar bears too.
Yeah.
Polar bears don't look like that.
They don't look anything like that.
They're completely black and like the size of a chihuahua.
And they hover.
Yeah, and they spit fire. But yeah, Santa Claus, they made Santa Claus look like a big jolly guy with the beard and the red thing, and like that's how everybody thinks like Santa Claus now, just because Coca-Cola decided to draw him that way.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Big rosy cheeks, little glasses sitting on his nose.
And fun fact, the same guy that drew that first Santa Claus was the same guy who made Democrats donkeys and Republicans elephants.
I heard he was also the first guy to do a hate crime.
He was the first guy to do a handstand.
Oh, that's what I got that mixed up.
I thought you were going to say handstand. Hate crime works too, though. Anyway, he was just a good cartoon guy.
Yeah, so the Germans believed in their lore that the gnomes lived underground, and their name translates into Earth Dweller.
Ooh, how cool would it be if they're pointy hats and they just began spinning like a drill bit and then just went to the ground like that?
I'm sure someone's done that. That's got to been done. That's good.
It's so good.
It's too good to not be done.
That's mine. You can't have it. Clay Gnome. That's our first song. Spinning drill gnome.
Spinning drill bit hat.
That's what you gotta do in the mosh pit at my concert.
Just head spins.
Just head spins. It's really cool. I'll lay out the cardboard. You do it.
So yeah, they believe that they lived underground, which is why they named them basically Earth Dweller. They were always depicted as old men who would protect treasure underground. I found
cats.
And kill cats or be mistaken for cats. I found it strange that even though they are mentioned a lot in like old German tales, they were never really described beyond the fact that they were small old men. But thanks to our original garden gnome creators, we all have an image that they invented with the sexy red pointed hat.
Yeah, red hat's important.
The warm, inviting beard.
Yep.
The devious, rosy red cheeks.
Of course, cherub-like.
And their simple yard working clothes. Just a real country boy.
You didn't mention how thick they are, though.
Yeah, they're usually a little stout.
I've never met a not thick gnome, and I don't want to be completely honest.
It's gross.
Thick boys
weird.
only.
Built like a tree trunk.
What you smuggling? You got some hams and we got some.
Got a summer ham sausage in there.
You got some peaches back there. What you got back there? You got peach.
Boy, you looking like Tom Cruise getting off the ground in that plane movie.
You got some watermelons back there. Oh, look at them watermelon.
Honey, get the knife. We got a watermelon to cut open.
I hope it's seedless.
I hope to add some seed to that seedless watermelon.
If I get a seed in my mouth, I'm going to be angry. I'm going to punch you.
So, I'm not going to let us go farther. Over the years...
writing gnome fan fiction.
Yeah. So, over the years, you can't go into any store without spotting at least one variation of a garden gnome.
True.
Which has evolved over the years. But next time you see one, don't forget that Hitler almost took away all of our garden gnomes before we even knew them.
Hey, I guess you're kind of right.
Yeah.
That's I love ending on that. That's another reason to hate the man.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? Real fucking
Son of a
asshole.
Bitch.
Real fucker.
Cool mustache. Not.
Michael Jordan did it better.
Bacon neck, bitch.
Yeah, you bacon neck. I'm going to be saying that. Like, I'm going to be back and they'd be like, back in my day, my sports stars dressed up like fascists, dictators.
But only when they flew on planes and were talking about their bacon neck.
Only when they're concerned about the neck, the collar on their $2.99 shirt.
From Mart.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay. Well, look at that. We all did get our answers.
Yeah.
I like how you were so cryptic. You wouldn't even tell me. I like how
well, if I gave you
one
any
word
hint, it would have been right out the window.
That's true, I guess. That's true. Answers was good. Well, I think that's all we got for you today. So, thank you guys for tuning in. We love telling you these stories, and we love when you stick around and listen to them. If you guys want any more information, you go to Cam Strange Podcast on Instagram. Click the link in bio. We have merch there. If you could rate, review, subscribe, wherever you're listening to this on, that'd be cool. Share it with a friend. That'd be cool. And if you want to send us an email that we definitely do not check, you can send it to camstrangepodcast@gmail.com. If you sent something, I haven't checked it in like 6 months.
Oh, no. I forgot
So we're not
an email.
mean. We're not rude. It's just I don't know how to do the email.
Yeah.
You know?
Fuck, we have an email.
Maybe I should check that email.
Probably.
It's just Buzzsprout reminded me that I'm paying them $18 a month. You fuckers. You fucks. Anyway. Cool. Well, you learned a lot today. So you're welcome.
Yeah.
You learned what vicious old men are. Don't let your cat around any of your old man neighbors.
Yeah.
They'll rip them apart.
Just, I at least I didn't go into detail on that part, right?
Literally,
I'm still okay.
It was heartbreaking. I just pictured the fucking cat rubbing up against the leg, and this guy like reaching down. And I'm like, how did he kill it? Did he strangle it?
Shovel.
And then,
but one of those really small hand shovels.
a trowel.
Yeah.
What is it called? A trowel.
Yeah.
Is that better? I think if anybody
owl,
kills,
he put the owl in trowel.
He put the owl in trowel. That's good. I think we should just end it there. I think that should be your sign off.
Well, I was gonna say actually, when you brought up merch, we have 2 new items in the merch store, and it is replica garden gnomes of Alex and I. So rush to the store.
Don't lie to people.
Hey, you don't know what I got up my sleeves. No,
But
I
like,
wish.
if we make them, everyone's gonna start having sex with them.
There's already a pre-drilled hole in the bottom.
What a watermelon is.
Seedless.
You can put a seed in it and grow. It's like a chia, but only the ass part grow. It's pretty good. Anyway.
All right, yeah, I said that. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got anything to say before we go?
No.
Cool. Okay. And don't forget to stay strange.